You asked for it, and we are delivering. Welcome to the one and only all-access podcast all about your Blue Comets football. Welcome to Beyond the End Zone, Blue Comets football, with head coach Calvin Brown. This episode is sponsored by Coach's Neighborhood Grill.
Welcome to Beyond the End Zone, Blue Comets football with head coach Calvin Brown. And as always, we want to thank our sponsor, Coaches. Just ate there Sunday, and that's my NFL Sunday spot, Coach.
Good spot to be to watch a lot of games.
And it looks like we're getting close to Terry's deal, 2-1, Coach.
Yeah, we got to put a few more wins together, but we're off to a good start to try to make a playoff push for this year.
Not pretty, Coach, but it was a W, like you said in your postgame speech. It was the first time Asheboro's won 2 games since what?
2019. So it's been quite a while for us to just have 2 wins in a season.
And the last time they've been over 500, what has it been?
Since back to 2016.
And that was with Coach George, right?
Yes, Coach George's last year. They went 9-4. So it's been a long time since we've had this success, I believe, and we're just trying to build off of it.
And, Coach defense showed up huge. Trogdon, Quincy, everybody decided. Even Quincy with 2 turnovers. Walk me through that night defense in the final step.
We felt good about our defense going in, just with what they did offensively. We thought we could maintain the line of scrimmage and make it very difficult for them to score, and we did that all night. They did put together one long drive to score their only touchdown. It was a 19-play drive. So we weren't giving up a lot, but we were just giving up enough that they could keep the drive going. I think they had 2 fourth-down conversions on that drive. So we struggled to get off the field during that period, but that's really all we gave up all night long. I think that was a 80-some-yard drive. And they only had about 150 yards on the night. So our defense played really well all night long, except for the one drive. But for 3 weeks now, I feel like our defense has been playing good enough to keep us in games, good enough to win. That's what we've got to be better at. We knew coming into the season our defense had to get better.
And what's cool about it is just that game alone, not even compared to the other games, you had a sack, 64 total tackles, 3 for loss, 3 pass deflections, an interception, and a huge fumble.
Yeah, Quincy actually forced the fumble and recovered it himself. He also had the interception, so he cut him up big as far as the turnover department. First time we've forced turnovers all season. We had 0 forced turnovers by our defense. They'd been playing well as far as yardage and points, but hadn't been creating the turnovers, and they got the turnovers created Friday night.
It's got to feel good that one of your running backs is the one getting the turnovers.
Yeah, Quincy's a guy that we can't take off the field defensively. He plays a little bit of offense, but he gets his rest on offense so he can play defense because he's a guy that can make plays like that.
And he had 2 rushing touchdowns, Coach. 200. What do you have? How many total yards? Do we know? I
think he had 20-some yards. He only had 4 carries. But his thing is, he's our fullback. He blocks really well from there. And then when we can hand it to him from the fullback or tailback spot, and he's explosive when he hits the hole. So he's not going to get many carries each night, but he's the guy that can score touchdowns, and he's done it all year. I think he has scored a touchdown in every game.
I feel like you kind of use him like the Panthers used to do with Mike Tolbert. You just put him right in that position and hand him the ball.
Very good comparison. Especially when we get down the goal line, we like to do a lot of stuff with our fullback, and he's a good one to give it to just because he hits the hole so hard. Not only that, but when we took over at the end of the game and we needed the first down to seal the victory, we handed it to him, and he fought and got the first down, and that was kind of the end of the game.
It was not just Quincy, Coach, on the run game. It was DJ, and even the freshman Connor comes back again with another big game. And you were telling me, how many yards did he have?
He had 148 yards Friday night, on 23 carries. And he only played in 2 quarters.
Jeez, it's just, who would you compare him to, his style, Coach? It's just fun to watch. He's just like a bouncy ball.
Yeah, everybody around here compares him to McCaffrey, so that's a good comparison anytime you can be compared to somebody like that.
I love McCaffrey, but let's hope it's not the injury side of McCaffrey starting out.
Yeah, that's right.
As we go, let's talk a bit. We're going to go a little negative for a second. Passing game struggled a little bit, 7 for 18, 80 yards, 2 interceptions. But here's the thing. It was a lot of just the ball hitting hands, like people just not catching it and bringing it in.
Yeah, 7 of 18, and we was really frustrated. We had 6 drop passes, and it's tough to get things going when you're dropping passes, especially our offense. We have an offense where we want to throw it a lot. We have a pass option off all of our run plays, and when you're not catching those passes, it makes it difficult. Makes it difficult for Coach Haney as a play caller, and then I'm in his ear after about the 6th drop, and I said, hey, don't just hand it off the rest of the night. Let's run it. And so that hurt. And the 2 interceptions, one of them was a drop pass. It went right through our hands, deflected into their hands. So that one wasn't Logan's fault. The second interception was Logan's fault. He made a really bad throw. And so we just, all around our passing attack from quarterback to receivers was struggled Friday night. We got to be much better against Randleman.
I saw, and I'm not trying to call out any certain names, but it looked like some of the receivers are a little scared of contact. They're making a move before they even catch the ball. Yeah,
and part of that is they're not running their routes the right way to set up to get open. They're looking at the guy instead of trying to run hard to push him back and create some separation. And the DBs are jumping routes, and so we've got to fix our route running. That will help with some of that. But it just goes to we've got to get better, and it's all around. We've made a lot of mistakes receiver-wise. We could about go through every single one of them that made some mistake along the line. So we've got to get better in that department.
And how do you bring Logan's confidence up just to make sure he's okay? I'm sure he is. He's always just moves on to the next game. But 2 interceptions, no passing TDs, is a little frustrating.
Well, he'll be fine. I mean, at the end of the day, all he cared about was one. He's excited we won. And he knew in the second half, I think we might have attempted 2 passes in the second half. So we didn't even try to really throw it. So we put it on the ground. We put it in Connor's hands in that fourth quarter, and he led us on that huge drive.
And with Connor going up, we pushing his 8-quarter rule pretty close.
Yeah, Connor is right now this week will be a full-time varsity football player. He still has 3 quarters left to go. He's only used 5 this year, but we're going to go ahead and make him a full-time varsity player at this point in the season.
And that's going to help because you got DJ and him in the backfield and Quincy.
We feel like we got 3 very talented running backs now. I think DJ and Connor can complement each other real well. If we can get DJ hitting the holes hard downhill, he's a bigger back. And then you got Connor, who's more explosive and is hitting the holes a little faster and gets through there a little quicker. So if they'll really work together, they can complement each other. And then you got Quincy, he can come in at fullback and give us some good carries as well.
And tell our audience, put us in that moment at the end of the game. I saw you walk away for a second, just out of emotion. It looked like maybe an emotional response when the game, when you knew you had it. You just kind of had to take a moment, it looked like. And then you came back.
Yeah, it was, and I don't think it was so much just who we were playing. I think it was just that moment of being in Lee J. Stone Stadium. It was packed. The environment was crazy Friday night. Our student section with our band right on our sidelines, which was something Dr. Moody pushed for to get our band back on the home side, which was awesome. I felt like I love having them right there. It was so loud on our sidelines all night. I think just the emotions of a hard-fought game, the one that we had to battle to win, and then just taking in the moment of being in that stadium and that atmosphere was pretty special.
And where'd you go? Because I went to go on the camera to look for you, and you just walked away. So I said, let me go grab you.
Honestly, I walked over to the student section and tried to celebrate with them as the clock was winding down, just because I appreciate what our student section and our band, our cheerleaders, what they did Friday night, just to kind of be that extra support right behind us. And so I wanted to show them appreciation and love for what they had done.
And I saw you hug a former Providence Grove player. I know it was an emotional game for him, right?
Yeah, Marion Manley, who transferred from Providence Grove, who played for me as a sophomore at Providence Grove, and ended up transferring to Asheboro this past spring and playing his senior year here. Is one that it was emotional for him, and we tried to talk to him all week about keeping his emotions in check and everything, and he did a great job with that, and I think just toward the end it was kind of special for him too.
And it was cool because I actually got a shot of you hugging him, and it was very emotional. You could tell it was just, and then of course he had to yell, "Shout out Sports from the Borough" on the wall. It's just, these guys killed me with that, Coach. Good pregame speech. It was great, Coach. It got me hyped. Coach, you motivated them. They were screaming as you came out of the locker room. Well, I heard what they said, but why don't you tell a little bit to our audience what you said?
We at Asheboro, I feel like over the last 7 years, only before this season, only winning 8 games in 7 years. Nobody kind of gives Asheboro any respect around our own community, around Randolph County, around the state. And we're trying to change that and trying to earn the respect. I tell them all the time, you're not going to get it until you go out and earn it. And so every chance we get to go earn that respect, we've got to do that. And when you got county teams coming into your home stadium, that's a great opportunity. So I just try to talk to them about how a lot of people don't give them respect and don't think they're going to win, don't think they're very successful, didn't think they had a chance against Providence Grove Friday night. And we try to use that as incentive and momentum for our team to go out and play well.
We'll talk Randleman later, but you got your speech. You got your speech ready for Randleman?
My speeches usually come it's spur of the moment, day off type thing. So no, I don't.
Well, maybe we can get. I've seen a few things. People talking smack online. Maybe we just pull up Facebook and show it to them to motivate them a little bit. That post game speech, you told them. I don't think they realized at the time, and then when they did realize the history that they made, it was a great post game speech. Tell the crowd, our audience, a little bit about what that was.
Just letting them know. Just it's been since 2019 since Ashbur's won 2 games in the season, and I know that seems crazy, and a lot of people are thinking, well, that's how bad y'all been, when that's exactly right. And I'm trying to prove to these guys that they could be the ones to turn the corner and make it a lot better, make Ashbur football a lot better. 2019. They were all in middle school. Some of them were in elementary school in 2019. So that you put that in perspective, just how long it was. The older I get, 2019 doesn't seem like that far ago, but it was in these kids' perspective, because you're talking about 4 or 5 years. Like I said, they were in elementary and middle school.
And you've seen on the other side before you came here. I mean, you've seen the struggle for the years when you were at Providence Grove when we used to play.
Yeah, and it was just the same thing we've kind of dealt with since we've been here, just figuring out how to win, learning how to win, and that's the culture we're trying to create with these guys. And we had to do that Friday night. We had to find a way to win. It wasn't easy. It wasn't a blowout win. I mean, it's tied late in the fourth quarter, and we had to go make plays to get the win. And I think that's what kind of made it even more special, is what we've been trying to strive to do, learning how to win games. We finally did it Friday night.
Well, it's kind of like, even if you look at it, when you bring in, I call them trap games. I mean, this is a rival game. I mean, it naturally has become one. It used to not be, but for the last 2 years it's been. So I feel like, you said it in your post-game speech, exactly nailed it on the head. This is their Super Bowl. They were talking about it. They talked about how they whipped us last year. Talked about how they're going to whip us this year. It was tough to play them. They came in and they didn't make a lot of mistakes, but we stopped them when we could.
Yeah, I mean, Providence Grove, they played really well Friday night. They played better than we had seen on film. Their coaching staff said it was the hardest they'd played all year. And we expected, as a coaching staff, we tried to prepare our guys for that, because we knew, like we said, it was their Super Bowl last year. So much so that last spring at their graduation, they talked about beating us last year. And they continued to bring it up. For a while in their trophy case at Providence Grove, there was a football, the game ball from beating Ashbur last year. And we only went 1-9 last year. And so but they took beating a 1-9 team very serious. And it was, like I said, it was their Super Bowl. So we knew they'd be ready to go again. And so to be able to hold them off, even though we were the better team Friday night, they played really well. We played down a little bit, but we found a way to win when it come down to it. And that was huge for us.
Well, it's like you said, the perfect sentence I remember you saying. It was ugly, but at the end of the day, they went home and we were 2-1.
That's right. And that's what doesn't matter how you get the win, you got to get it. Now, as the coaching staff, we go back and watch film, and we're going to try to get those mistakes corrected. But it's all about finding ways, and we found a way.
And what's crazy is Quincy Lee, we got to go back to Quincy. He is now 3rd place in the Mid-Piedmont 3A in scoring with 30 points.
Yeah, like I said, I think he scored in every game we've had so far. He finds a way to get in the end zone. And that's one thing we struggled with last year. If we got in the red zone, we couldn't put it in. And with having him as an extra bonus, and being able to get the ball in the end zone this year with our offensive line up front is huge for us.
So I feel like we got to go inside the Blue Comets locker room with Quincy, right?
That'd be a great choice.
We're going to do Taylor, too. And I think you said, who else would you want? You told me you wanted Mr. Linebacker himself, Hughes.
Luke Hughes with a huge stop Friday night on the final play of the game was huge for us.
Let's go inside the Blue Comets locker room.
Everyone loves landing in the end zone. Here at Wilhoit Group Real Estate of Tyler, Redhead, and McAlister, we would love to land you in your forever home. Give Tyler a call or text at 336-963-9016 or visit wilhoitgroup.com. Let's support them and their support of Blue Comets football.
Now it's time to go inside the Blue Comets locker room.
Well, welcome to Inside the Blue Comets locker room, and I think there's no one better than to start out with is Mr. Quincy Lee. Man, how you doing, brother?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. This one's actually sponsored by Wilhoit Group Real Estate of Tyler, Redhead, and McAlister. 14 carries, 150 yards, 5 TDs this season, man. 3rd place scoring in 3A Piedmont, man. How's it feel?
Feels kind of good, I can't let it satisfy me, though. I got to keep working.
You said something. You're not even a me guy. You kept saying, we're not in the playoffs yet. We're not in the playoffs yet.
Yeah, you feel me? It's like we came from, 1-9. We still got stuff to prove to people.
And this is your senior year, so you've had a lot of 1-9 seasons.
Yeah. Well, I ain't really come from here, but like like it's my home. So it's like me seeing Asheville go through like 1-9 seasons, like my whole high school like career. It's like
Because when did you move here?
I moved here my sophomore year.
Okay, so
I missed the sophomore year of football, so I started playing my junior year here.
Okay, so you've always been with this new coaching staff then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I played with his brother, Coach Brown.
Okay.
At Grimsley before I came here.
Were you at Grimsley?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why you run like a horse, man, a beast, man. I see it right there, dude. I compared you to Mike Tolbert, to Coach, earlier in the episode. You know who Mike Tolbert is? They used to call him Bulldozer. So they used to run him at fullback on the Panthers, like a halfback, kind of like what they do with you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they would score every time. And he would do. You got to do the dance that Mike Tolbert does, man. He used to always do the little dance, and everybody get hyped. All right, man. What was your mindset, man? You were just a beast. I mean, dude, let's be honest. You had 2 touchdowns. You had interception and a freaking forced fumble and recovered it.
I got to hit the switch. It's like you got to come in clutch. I don't know. You just got to go out there and be a dog, man.
And you kept saying it on the sideline to me. You said, son, I got to step up. You kept saying, I got to step up.
I got to just step. Yeah, that's all I got to do. I got to step up, man. And it's like somebody ain't. You got to just do it.
When did you knew you needed to do that? Like, you needed to take that role?
After halftime, we just kept. I feel like I made too much mistakes. I know I did good, but like I didn't really play good that game. It was just the things that I did. It sounds good, but it's like the first half. It really wasn't my best first half. I could really do better, but it's like I don't know. I just knew I had to step up second half and make something happen.
When you scored that first touchdown, what was going through your mind?
When I first scored, I was like, it's going to be a ball game. I just felt like, I don't know, just turning up. Then after that, we had a couple turnovers. Offense started slowing down. So I was like, all right, defense got to keep stepping up. Then they scored. I was like, man, we got to go score again. That's halftime, put us up, came back out, had to drive them down. It was a good feeling just going down there and scoring again, to be honest, just to seal the game.
And you started flying. You had the hands like you were flying. I was like, okay.
I got excited. Then I was tired. I had to do something.
Were you tired did you have to use the wings to kind of get you to the sideline when you were? I got film of you your hands out like an airplane.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know. I was just having fun.
Were you singing a song when you were doing it? Because you were hyped, man. I don't know what you were doing, but you looked like you were excited.
I was probably just talking to myself. Just excited.
And then you looked into the camera and you said, you're like, let's go. I need to step up. I'm not done. That's what you told me.
I got to. So I'm like, PG, it's really not a game I need to step up in. It's a whole lot of more games I got to keep stepping up in. So it'll probably be more than that.
But we're talking about the touchdowns, Quincy. But now let's talk about like the interception, man. I mean, I know that there was a tip. Kind of walk me through what happened during that interception.
It was okay. It was like a snap. You know how they run out the wing tee. So it was like I read, and I was really supposed. I think I was supposed to blitz that play. I don't know. I think I was supposed to blitz. So I came down. I just went downhill. I seen that they faked it. He went out, and I just covered. I seen Luke go, so I stayed like I covered his ground. And I seen him go jump. I just seen a ball. I caught. I really could have scored. I put myself in a situation. I didn't know if I wanted to juke the quarterback or run him over. So when I got to him, I just planted my feet and got stuck, and he just tackled me. So I couldn't do nothing.
But you froze up that second.
Yeah.
What do I want to do? Too late.
I was like, and I just. Yeah.
Well, dude, it was a huge play. I mean, dude. I mean, I think what was that? 3 guys rushing at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because dude, and then the strip fumble. Walk me through that, man, because I mean, it was perfection, dude.
The first half I kept doing it, but I kept slipping because I was sweaty. So I said I need to get my gloves. I went in the locker room. I came back out with my gloves. I got a hold of it again. I stripped it. I felt it. I picked it up. I was going to get gone. But I got caught a little bit. So.
Well, it was funny because, dude, it was like perfect. But how'd you know you could get it? Because most of the time when people strip it out, it's like your other teammates the one usually grabbing it. But, dude, you were so quick on it.
It was practice, honestly. At practice, we was doing scoop and score drills. And it was like, it wasn't even from that. It was just the way. I don't even know. It's like we practice it a lot, and it's like when I get the rhythm of just scooping it and stripping it, it was just I stripped it, now I got to scoop it, now I got to score. But I just did score. So it was like.
Did your heart just go, when you're like, wait, I got the ball, I just stripped it?
Yeah, that's how it was when I got the pick. I was like, I got the pick, I got to do something. So.
Dude, I guess that's why they put you on both sides, man, because you got the hands, dude. I mean, that was incredible.
Hey, I just got to do something to step up, like you said.
So You made a statement, man. You stepped up. Talk me through. You played both sides, man. You're a linebacker and running back. How do you hit the switch during the game to go to both sides?
You just gotta. I gotta have that mentality, man. Like, you know, you gotta do both. Like, you gotta have, and it's really a mindset thing. It's really mental. You gotta just know what you gotta do, because it's not. I don't only play like tailback. I play the H too, so it's like I play both positions on offense. So sometimes it can be like hard, like thinking, but it's like that's the thing about it. You can't really think. You just gotta know it. So once you know, it's really easy. Some people might think I get confused, but it's really just you gotta play.
Yeah.
So you can't really let that get to your head.
You got one you like better than the other, offense or defense?
I can't really. I like scoring, but I like stopping people too. So it's like it's like I just love football in general. So it's like it's all together. I don't even know.
Have you always been a linebacker and running back, or what's your past? What positions?
Yeah, really. Well, Pee Wee ball, but at Grimsley I was actually playing D-line.
Okay.
So I wanted to play D-line here, but I just got switched to linebacker. So after that, I just got the groove of linebacker and got good at it.
And you got some good core guys right beside you. Talk a little bit about who's beside you at that linebacker position.
Oh, I got especially Luke Hughes. That's my main man right
He's
there.
like a Luke Kuechly, man. He's everywhere.
Yes, man. He's my run stopper for sure. He got a little injury in his knee, but he'll be all right, man. He's going to fight through that.
And then I saw that they moved Cole to the other spot.
Yeah, Cole, he's helping out very, very much on the other side, on the outside. We needed Cole right there. I feel like he's real. I feel like Cole needed that position.
He's got like 28 tackles right now, especially.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just off the rip like that. I feel like we should add like Brumbley and them still too. Gavin and Brumbley, they're still good in the mix. It's just I don't know how to really say it. When we run Comet or base, I don't know. I really like both of them. They're both very good. I like Comet and base.
So you love that switch to the 43 defense this year?
Yeah, I like it kind of, cause when I get to the side, I honestly like running the wing, like running the flat. To be honest, like so if something come out, I just like running it, cause I feel like our outside backers, if we run that, they'll just float to their flat. I don't think they'll get to somebody, so I gotta be the person to get to somebody instead of just worrying about the flat.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's a
like,
solid defense, dude. I mean, y'all got a lot of good pieces in that defense. And then I feel like you got a lot of trust at your safeties, too.
And our safeties for sure. We got Izzy and Ben for sure over top. We're good. I feel like I got confidence.
You trust them if you miss that tackle, they're going to step up and save you?
And I got my two corners right there coming in. I feel like if they bounce it out, we'll be all right.
Well, let's stick on defense, man. You got Randleman coming up. How are you preparing for that with a really pass-heavy offense?
Real physical with the run game and offense. You just got to play hard, play smart. But going against their offense, it's a real mental. You know, they play a lot of schemes. They do a lot of stuff. So you just got to read, really. I can't let myself be like – I can't really, just play. I got to actually read this game. Yeah,
because they got Golston. I forget the other receiver's name, but they like to do a little, post with Golston or deep, and then a little short over the middle to the other guy, wide open up the field.
Yeah, it's like a little slant dig type of thing. I know what you mean. It's like, and I'm going to be the one that have to sit on that, so I know what you're talking about.
Are you going to lay the hit stick on them, or are we going to get another interception?
I'm going to have to. This game is going to be more of, thinking than playing, you know. This is gonna be a game that we can actually try to upset somebody. You know, last year you see the score was freaking a 57-6. We gotta make that
I mean, my baby was born that day, and I was in the hospital that night listening to it on Sports Tone, and man, I was just like, come on.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it's a hard feeling hearing that, you know. And it's now coming into our next year, and we know we're motivated and prepared to go into it. I feel like we'll be
it's gonna be. I mean, it looks good on paper. You got 4-0 versus 2-1, man. It looks good.
It's kind of good this year.
It's gonna be a packed house, man. You ready for it?
Oh, it's gonna be a bad environment. It's gonna be packed. It's gonna be loud.
We gotta make sure the crowd's loud, man. We gotta make sure that student section.
Brown's probably gonna go crazy over there if we can't hear the plays because of them.
So as you're going against this, man, how are you? Are you gonna have to? Are you mentally ready? You been watching film? Are you studying up?
Yeah, I've been mentally ready about this. I ain't gonna lie. It's just something. I don't know. Something about changing Asheville football has just been on my mind, man. It's just, I came from here, so it's it's more to it when you actually I can get if I like just came to another school and they like went in on. But it's like when you actually come from Asheboro and it's like you grew up here. And you know, Asheboro always used to be good, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's like we had a little slump year, so now we gotta turn that back up. You know what I mean?
I don't know if you know about this, but back in the day, my 8th grade year, it was middle school night, which is middle school night this Friday, and it was
I heard about
it
that
was
one.
Eastern Randolph versus Ashburn. And it was a packed house, and the Eastern was undefeated, the best team in the state, and Ashburn upset them. I mean, I remember it took me a cold quarter to get from one sideline to the other. It kind of resembles that a little bit this Friday.
That's why I'm trying to make things shake, man. That's why I gotta be on my P's and Q's this game. Gotta really be locked in.
So how do you get rid of the butterflies when the game starts?
That's jumping, really just trying to hit something. I just be trying to get on the field. Once I get them couple first hits, then I'm good. But really, it's like this game, I'm not really trying to worry about that. Once I'm gonna try to get play recognition so I can see what they really do versus us. Because I know some teams, they show it on film, then they have a whole different new thing. So it's like I just got to be mental prepared this game.
Now, as we get close to wrapping up, talk to me about let's go offense. Are you prepared? What are you preparing for on offense? You, Quincy, and then I said you, Quincy. You, DJ Scott, and Connor. I mean, that's 3 solid backs.
Hey, I really got to work on that line. Me being an H-back, I really got to I'm going to have to help the O-line now open up some gaps because, you know, they got a big front up there. So it's going to be...
You did a good job with Connor. I mean, that 140 in 2 quarters. I mean, you opened up some gaps.
So, yeah, we're going to open up some good gaps for him this week, too, off that 3-3 stack. So it's going to be all right.
You going to keep your eye on anybody on that defense?
Really, the only person I'm really looking at is number 3.
Okay.
That's a big boy, but I ain't really see nothing. He just run. He's just high. So if he runs high versus me, it's going to be a bad night for him.
I love it, man. So as we wrap up, dude, what's next for Quincy, man? It's your senior year, man. What do you want to do, man?
I want to keep playing football, you know, but hopefully if not, you know, I'm going to try to make my way into trade school or something. Try to go to college, to be honest.
I like the trade school idea. You know, I went to trade school. Carolina School of Broadcasting in Charlotte, man. And then I worked with the NFL. After that, got me a job in the NFL, that trade school.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's something I want to do.
Yeah. So is there any schools interested yet you've talked to? Anything?
For football, I went to Greensboro College.
Nice.
I went to St. Augustine.
Okay.
I went to A&T, Guilford College. I went to a lot of colleges.
You know, A&T, their former alumni that played for them is the head coach at NAMS.
Oh,
Gary,
bro.
Coach Gary.
Gary
yeah.
I forgot about Coach Gary.
He played there, man. He was a stud there, man. I think he was DB, I think.
Yeah, he was my track coach when I was at Sam's.
What?
Yeah, he was coaching NAMS and Sam's like combined.
Yeah. Dude, he's still doing it, man. And the middle school programs are looking pretty good.
He be at practice sometimes watching his guys from last year.
Talking about Braylon and them.
Yeah, Braylon and
you know, DJ played for him too. Yeah. DJ and all that crowd. Garrison, all that.
Garrison. Yeah, he was watching Garrison and all them.
It's crazy. It's got to mean a lot to see y'all's former coaches coming back and just hang out and see you guys.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's one thing that motivates me because I want to show them that this Asheboro's going, because they coached us, you know, like especially for Gene Woodle. Shout out to Gene. He like coached us our whole life, and it's like showing him that we're gonna turn Asheboro up. He's probably gonna be proud of that.
Yeah, man, it's your senior year, dude, and what would be a better way to do it than upset a 4-0 team?
You know.
So. Dude, I appreciate you being here. Any advice? I got Luke Q's coming up. Any advice for this interview?
Hey, I don't know. He's a real up talk guy. He's gonna talk. He'll probably be a little quiet though. He's not gonna be like this.
Is there anything comedic wise I can pick on him about you got for me?
His speed.
His speed.
He be getting mad sometimes at the cover. He'd be like, I'll be so slow trying to get my drops. But
dude, his blood goes deep, man. He's got 2 little brothers that are pretty good athletes, too, over at the middle school.
Yeah, his little brother's going to be a problem.
He's got his little one is actually pretty solid at basketball, too, man.
Yeah, I think his that one, I think he's going to be better at basketball.
Yeah, he got that speed.
Yeah, he just throw that thing up.
I didn't help with the camps, and I'm like, dang, he's fast. But dude,
get in something.
dude, yeah, it's like 3 of them, man, and that's it's crazy because the middle one's a big time foot. He's good at football too, right? Mm-hmm. Dude, I guess that it just runs in that Hughes blood. Yeah, because I think he's related to Boone Hinesley too, so it just keeps going and going and going.
Boone's gonna be him on the O line and linebacker coming up.
Yeah,
With Luke and us moving, it's gonna be a lot of people stepping up next year.
Dude, and then you got on the offensive line that's protecting for you, man. You got Spivey, bro.
Spivey's he's a big part of our O line too. Them 2 guys right there is our strong side.
Yep.
It's just. I love running to that side right there.
Yeah, and then you got the young side with Zach and I forget who else. Caleb. Yeah.
Once they move up in per grades, they're gonna be so good at the game too.
There's some big boys.
Yeah,
big boys. So I got a joke for you. So we pick on Spivey last year because Coach's Neighborhood Grill is the main sponsor of this episode.
Yeah.
And they have a karaoke night. And I asked Spivey, I even asked Boone, and Boone sung for me. He sung the song that he said he would have. If you had to go to karaoke, you and your core linebackers and your running backs, what would be y'all's go-to song?
Our go-to song. Oh, this is a good one. Running backs and linebackers?
Yeah. You can choose a song for each one if you have to. What would you go to?
Oh, if that all of us know, I would probably say, Lil Baby Freestyle.
Okay.
Lil Baby Freestyle.
Who will be the lead on that? Who you think will be the lead singer on that? And I feel like who's going to be in the background dancing? Who's going to be the one?
Probably me, DJ, Caleb. This is all the guys is going to be dancing and stuff. They're just going to have a good time.
Man, y'all are a family, man. It's fun to see, dude.
Yeah, that's why I love it here, man.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being on here, man. I'm sure we're going to have you on here plenty this year because you're going to go beast mode it this Friday.
Yes, sir. No problem.
Awesome. Well, tell the crowd anything. Get hype. We'll be there this Friday. And, tell them, man.
We're going to come hard, man. Don't underestimate us this year. That's all I got to say, man.
If you don't get loud, we're going to send Quincy in the crowd lowering his shoulder. So y'all better get loud.
Yes, sir.
All right. That's it, bro.
All right.
Love seeing a Blue Comet lay a sack on defense on Friday Night Lights? Eliudes Flooring would love to lay a hand on all your flooring needs. They are located right by your Blue Comets at 1134 South Fayetteville Street in Asheboro, North Carolina. Give them a call at 336-626-3048 for your free estimate today.
Now it's time to go inside the Blue Comets locker room.
Well, welcome to Inside the Blue Comets locker room, and we had to bring in Mr. Luke Hughes himself. I call you Luke Kuechly, man.
Yeah.
You know who Luke Kuechly is?
Yes. No, he was my growing up, I always watched him. I was inspired by him.
I used to work with the Panthers, and I remember he's a really good guy, dude. Really good guy. You kind of resemble him, man. You're everywhere, dude.
Yeah.
Is it just natural? Where do you learn that from, that mindset of just being there?
I don't know. I mean, maybe my dad a little bit.
Okay.
He's always doing something, always moving around. But yeah. Anyways, the Luke Kuechly's always. I mean, I never decided to wear 59, but if I didn't wear 44, then I'd be wearing 59. That's for sure.
Dude, I love him. I love Luke Kuechly, man. But dude, last year, I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I think you led tackles.
Yes.
And
I had 89.
89. That's a lot, dude. That's a lot. Especially because it was last year, your defense, it's this year I feel like it's the opposite, but last year it was a little bit of you came out strong, but then y'all got tired that fourth quarter.
Yeah, a little bit. We kind of got a little tired, I would say, yeah.
And in that Providence Grove game, you came in hype last year. When I was walking down, I feel like you had a ton of tackles last year against Providence Grove.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game. Pretty energetic, yeah.
And in that game, did it tick you off? It was a very close game.
Yeah, we were all frustrated, and I was really frustrated with how it turned out. I feel like we kind of fell out at the very end, but obviously we improved upon that. Especially this year, we turned it around. We didn't lose our drive. We kept our foot on their throats, even though it was still close. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was a little too close for comfort, almost.
Yeah, a little too close.
Compared to last year, you guys, last year, I think you only had 1 or 2 running clocks. Compared to the years before, it was a ton of running clocks.
Yes.
And as we go into this year, y'all are competing, man.
Yes.
And let's be honest, y'all had that Eastern game.
Yes, we did.
And y'all stopped them. Y'all were stopped. You were getting in there. You weren't. Unfortunately, I don't think they had you that game, right?
No, I wasn't. I think I tweaked my knee during the Albemarle game, the very end of the game. I went to block a guy and my knee just kind of gave in. It was kind of tweaked out. But there was no ligament damage or anything. Thanks to Coach Carr, Trainer Carr, man.
Oh, he's a man.
He's awesome, man. He got me right back, and I felt better. I didn't have any issues during PG. My knee was feeling perfect. Shout out to him, man. He's the reason I was able to play.
It's good you had a bye week, too.
Yes, the bye week, too. The bye week was crucial. I had a whole extra week to recover. I'm so grateful. I mean, if there was a time, I'm not saying I wanted to get injured, but if there was a time for me to get injured, it was definitely during this week.
Y'all made history. I mean, that's the first.
Yes.
I mean, that's the second. Last time we won 2 games at Asheboro was 2019, and when we were over 500, it's 2016 with Coach George.
Yeah.
That says how long it's been.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And what does it feel like to make that history last Friday?
Oh, it feels great. You know, actually being able to start a turnaround for Asheboro is an amazing feeling. It's a new Asheboro, like I say. We're going to change. I don't see us struggling from as we have been for the previous years. I think we're going to actually turn this around, this program. I really have high hopes for this program. I know I'm a senior, but I believe a lot in my lower classmen.
Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of them.
Yes, there's a ton of them.
Last week, man, no knock on the offense, but they really kind of struggled getting going.
Yeah.
They stayed in it because of the defense. Did y'all just figure that out? Like, hey, we got to step up.
Yes, I know on the sideline I was yelling at our defense. I was like, even though our offense is struggling, that doesn't mean they have to score PG. So our strategy was just keep them from scoring. So that, I mean, we just played football. We just didn't let them score. Kept our foot on their throats. Every drive we'd stop them. I know during the third quarter they kind of got us there, but I was telling my teammates, they kind of got a little bit down when they scored on us there.
Yeah.
But I was like, we just gave our offense a bunch of time to get recuperated, to get all their strategy, get all energized and rest up. And, I mean, they went down the field and they scored immediately.
Yeah, because didn't it take them like 17 plays to score Providence Grove or something crazy like that?
But yeah, it took them. It was a long drive. It was like the entire third quarter. We held them out, and then as soon as it flipped over, we scored immediately and took the lead again.
Yeah, Quincy with 2 TDs too.
Yes, man, Quincy. Man, Quincy's a dog, going back and forth on offense and defense. I don't know how he does it.
He says you a dog too, man. He said he couldn't do it without you. He said when he went for that pick, or even when he went for that strip, you were there. You're there always.
Yes. But yeah, that man, he's fast. I swear, he's everywhere on the field.
They said the same thing about you, man. I know you're trying to be humble, but
Yeah.
during that fumble strip, where were you at?
I was right behind him.
That's what I thought.
I watched him strip it and pick it up. I was like, man.
Because weren't you holding him too? You popped him too, and then he stripped it?
I was right there, yeah.
Yeah.
And he just watched him get it and then pick it up. I was like, because so many turnovers on his part, getting all the turnovers, it's crucial for us.
And you were saying, so you were bragging earlier. I mean, let's be honest. He had a great game that second half to help. But, I mean, dude, brother, you had the game-winning tackle to really just seal the deal. Walk me through that. And I know you gave credit to the D-line.
Yeah, on that play, we had a blitz called. So, when the ball was snapped, I just saw a lane. I'm not sure if I was actually initially blitzing the hole that I went through. But, I mean, I saw the floodgates. I mean, it was green grass ran straight through it. And, I mean, I popped him in the back. I mean.
Did you see him or did you just say, I'm 100%, and then you saw him?
I saw him, but I ran through there. And then I saw him get the ball in secret. I was like, yes, let's go. And I popped him, and then he went down, and I was all hype. That was awesome, man.
Did the emotion, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, couldn't ask for much more. Especially, I'm gonna shout out my uncle. He's the reason I wear 44. I could feel his presence. He unfortunately passed away a couple days after our ER game. But yeah, the entire game I felt him, man. Felt his presence. And I was gonna say this one's for him.
Is he a big football guy?
He is a big football guy. He wore 44. My dad wore 44 for him. But yeah, he's the reason I wear 44.
Man, that's awesome. It looked beautiful. I mean, even the Coach Brown on the sidelines. I know you saw the video.
Yeah, I saw the video. Yeah, but yeah, he was right there with me with that tackle, and it was definitely one of the best moments of my life. That's for sure.
And that post game, man. All right, what was it like celebrating, knowing that you made history at Ashboro?
It was amazing, man. It was ethereal. I mean, we're not satisfied with 2-1. We're not satisfied with just 2 wins, but just to finally break that barrier and get past our plateau of just a single win per year, it was awesome, man. It was awesome. That's all I can say. It's just awesome. We were all so happy. I was happy. My mom and dad come down there celebrating. My uncles, Boone, Boone Hines.
Yeah, he talked about. He was singing on our podcast. Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely one of the highlights of my life. Awesome.
Well, there's a big game coming up now. You got a big undefeated Tigers coming into your house.
Oh yeah. Always since I was little, been playing Randleman since Pee Wee leagues. So yeah, they're always been good. That's for sure.
And then what's crazy about it is it's a little bit different. Yeah, you went against the Wishbone with Providence Grove, and you figure that out. But they're a little different, Randleman.
Yes, they are. They're definitely they have a good pass game and a pretty decent run game too. So we'll have to lock that down. What
have you been working on? Are we going to see a little bit more still blitzing a little bit? Are we going to?
Yeah, I believe we'll see some blitzing. I mean, obviously, it was pretty successful in PG, as I shown. But yeah, should be some blitzing. But yeah, I mean, we all know they have a very good pass game.
Yeah.
I mean, Tyshawn.
He's going to catch it.
He's going to catch it, man. And he can get up for them. Deep balls, too. But we can't. I know some of their recent opponents have been kind of passive and giving them space. We're not going to give them space. We're not going to give them these little slants and cut routes. Because if you give them space, they're just going to devour that. I mean, they're a smart football team.
Yeah, and they utilize it because he's averaging, I think, 96 receiving yards a game, and then the other one's I think 60-something yards per game. But I feel like they utilize those two receivers a lot.
Yes, they do. Yeah, so we need to lock that down, and also the run game. They have a decent run game.
Yeah.
So
we just don't want to repeat it last year, right?
Definitely not a repeat of last year. But yeah, hopefully me and Quincy can shut down that run game in the middle, and then our outside backers, Cole, and our corners in Robinson, they can shut that down chasing too. And we also, we have a strong safety core too. We have overall pretty good pass coverage.
I think if you pop them a little bit, they might. You keep hitting them, they might get a little timid.
Yes.
As we get close to wrapping up, it's a big game, man, and it's also middle school night, so it's going to be a packed house. And I keep comparing it to this game. I know, and I could be wrong. The crowd could prove me wrong. I know it's not compared to that ER, but I remember my 8th grade year. It was middle school night when Ashboro upset state champions Eastern Randolph.
Yeah.
So it kind of resembles that. We got undefeated Tigers coming in here. Big crowd. They're going to travel. We got our fan base. Do you feel the nerves? Are you excited?
Oh, I'm always excited when we play Randleman. Man, like I said, been playing them since I was young. I consider them to be one of my most anticipated games. I love playing against Randleman. It's always a fun game to play against them because they're a good team. And, the energy they bring is always one.
And the fans will bring,
Yes, the fans, too. It's just such a fun game.
I told our fans if we don't get loud, I'm sending Quincy in the crowd. I'm going to send you too. I'm going to send Hughes and Quincy after you guys in the crowd if we don't get loud.
Get Cole in there too. I know he's energetic.
Yeah, goodness gracious. What is he, 6'4", 200, something like that?
Towers over everyone.
Gosh, how's it like? When he came to your linebacking core, what is it like to have him? Because he was a DB.
It was nice. I played with him when I was young too, Pee Wee's, and he played linebacker, so I knew. Also, whenever I got injured, he took up my spot for me. I knew immediately that we were in good hands. He did a good job. I don't remember how many tackles he had before he unfortunately got injured, but he had a strong. Yeah. He was doing well. But yeah, he's played linebacker when we played Pee Wee. I think it was Parks and Rec football, but whenever I saw him move to linebacker, it made it's just so much nostalgia from where he would play. I'm pretty sure he'd play outside.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just Yeah, I knew he could fill the spot. He was always good there. His speed, his size. I mean, he towers over everyone.
Can he jump? Has he got some?
Of course he can jump, man. That man can jump high. You know, our defense, we have some tall guys. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of short, 5'10", man. These guys tower.
Is that why we
over
put
me.
you at the middle?
Yeah,
They kinda hide you. They can't see you, but you hit hard. You gotta.
Yeah, I can sneak in there. But yeah, these guys, they tower over me. I'm not gonna lie, they're like 6 foot plus.
The D line too, man. Good
Yes.
God.
Sometimes I have to get on my tippy toes to see over them. Sometimes. Yeah.
I would say Joel too on that end. You got
That's what I'm saying. Joel
yeah.
is huge, man.
Yeah, and tell me the other line, the other people on the line.
The only person I can compete with is Mabry. I think me and Mabry, we're kind of similar, but yeah, like Ronders goes in there some.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You trust that front. They seem like they trust you behind that front line.
Yes. Oh yeah. I give so much. I need to give some credit to the D line. They are killing it this year. If they keep it up, and then like I feel like we can stop Randham's run game with our D line because they have been doing an incredible job getting pressure and filling holes and doing their assignments. So yeah,
I'm
credit
excited.
to them.
I'm excited, man.
I'm very excited.
I'm excited to see our defense because, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, yeah, we got to score, but we need the defense to do stops this Friday if we're going to end that undefeated streak.
Yes, we do. And I have full faith in my defense behind me.
I'm excited, man. Well, thanks for being on here, dude. Anything else as we wrap up you want to tell the fans?
It's a new Asheboro, man. It's not these previous years. I know we've struggled, but we're changing and we're more passionate. Fans are more passionate. We can hear y'all. We appreciate it. Band and all the student section getting all hype. I mean, I'm telling you.
Do you like having the band on your side again?
Oh yeah, I liked it personally. Maybe it may have made the calls a bit harder to hear, but it was worth it because we could get a really, really hype, especially when our band was playing the Florida State chant, man. On third down, it was getting us all hyped.
Yeah. Y'all, I saw y'all jumping.
Yeah, as a man, I mean, I'm in the band too, and I have so much respect for them too, man. The effort they put in for the halftime shows and for the stands.
What's your instrument?
I play trumpet.
Dude, we should have brought the trumpet in here. We could have played for our fans, man. I think that's a future episode here. We need to bring you to coaches when we do it live again in the future, and we need to bring you on with a trumpet.
I'll see what I can play. I mean, I can play all the songs. I mean, but our band, yeah, they're real good at that.
Did you see the band video that we posted on Sports in the Borough?
I saw them. Yeah, they look nice.
Drumline kills it.
Yes, our drumline's real good too.
I'm excited. It reminded me of like A&T drumline. They're like getting out there. But none of them smiled. I guess you're not allowed to smile, are you? You got to keep the straight face?
We're allowed to smile. I mean, but I think they were just so focused on what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, dude, I'm excited, man. And thanks for being on here. We got Coach Taylor next. Any advice on taking that interview? I know he's got a personality. He's a funny guy.
Yeah. I just came from class from him. I haven't freak out, but yeah, he's a good guy. I love him.
Him and Hunt are the two main D coordinators, right? He's assistant coordinator and Hunt is the coordinator.
Yes.
So you like having them as coaches?
Yes. Coach Taylor brings so much energy. He gets real passionate whenever you make a good play, but he'll also get on your case if you make a mistake. I love him. And Coach Hunt, man. Coach Hunt, he has this kind of calm. He keeps calm and kind of calculating something, but you get to know him. He's pretty cool. Getting to know him he's been one of the best coaches that's ever taught me. He knows what he's doing.
They say he's like a genius of the game.
That's what I'm saying. He feels like he just feels so professional. Like he just knows. Every time I have a question, immediate response knows exactly what the best option is. And it's also nice because I can talk to him about like what I'm seeing on the field, and he can relay back what he's seeing, and we can communicate and just kind of get his insight. You know, because he's just a genius when it comes to that stuff. I mean, he's the one that called the blitz.
Yeah.
He put me in the spot to make that tackle. So I have so much respect for him.
Yeah, I hear he's a really good science teacher too.
Oh yeah, I have him. Next semester, chemistry. Something about the coaches and having them for AP classes, man.
I hear you take all AP classes.
Yes, I take much of them.
What's next for you then? Once the senior year's over,
man, I know I want to go to college. I'd love to play football if I can, but I'd like to be a surgeon if I could. Like go somewhere, go to like. I'm a Duke fan. That's where I'm.
Oh, come on!
I want to hear it, man. I love Duke. I'd love to go to Duke.
I knew there had to be something wrong with you, Luke, man. I loved everything about it until you said that, man. I'm a Tar Heel, so we're
come on.
Where's your Duke? So you're Duke. Okay, so have you applied at Duke? Is that where we're thinking trying to go?
Yeah. I haven't applied yet, but I'm in the process of doing that.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd love to go to Duke. I mean, I've been a fan since I was a kid.
What's your GPA?
4.5.
Daggum, son. Man, you need to teach me some stuff, man. You can tutor.
Yeah. But yeah, me and my dad, we love Duke. It started as a family rivalry because some of our family is actually Tar Heel fans. I don't know how they can be Tar Heel fans.
Tar Heels.
But yeah, my dad started it by becoming a Duke fan just so he could, I mentioned my Uncle Jeremy. He became a Duke fan so that he could be a rival against them. And I've just kind of hopped on the train. I did
that with my cousin. His dad, unfortunately before he passed away, he was a big Duke fan. And he had Garrett, my cousin, a Duke fan. I converted him to Carolina fan. So he's a diehard Carolina fan now. So
he's a traitor.
Well, we're sitting here in Coach Nance's office, our podcast studio, and he's got state everywhere in here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look over your shoulder. What do we say about that?
I mean, as long as you're not a Tar Heel fan.
Wow. Okay. All right. Whatever, man. But dude, thanks for being on here, brother. And good luck Friday.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Everyone loves that Friday night cozy feeling of a Blue Comets football win. We here at the Original Affordable Furniture Store want to give you that same feeling with our furniture. We offer all mattresses and quality furniture at an affordable price for all families. Just like the one and only Blue Comets, we are your original affordable furniture. Give us a call at 336-629-1014 or come on over to 1954 North Fayetteville Street in Asheboro, North Carolina, and let us help you with your furniture and mattress needs. Buy local, stay local with the Original Affordable Furniture.
Now it's time to go inside the Blue Comets locker room.
All right, well, welcome inside the Blue Comets locker room. As our last one is with Coach Taylor. And Coach Taylor, this interview is sponsored by Affordable Furniture, and they got some pretty comfy furniture. And one thing we can't do this Friday is be comfy.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. Hey, you're definitely right about that. We cannot. We can't get comfortable. We can't fall asleep. So if they offer some type of nice bedding there, we don't need it. Not this Friday.
Yeah, and as we go into this, Coach Taylor's our DB guy, head coach and assistant coordinator, right? If I'm correct.
Yes, sir.
You kind of co-team it with Hunt. It's been heavy run preparing for the last few weeks. I feel like this is a different mindset going into Friday against Randleman. How are you approaching this Friday with that really strong pass team?
So we're approaching it the same way we would any other week, but obviously practices we're emphasizing the pass a little bit more, but not anything crazy. I mean, the pass plays they run, the route combos they have, it's stuff that we've seen time and time again, stuff they've ran in the past. So it's stuff that our guys are used to seeing, but it's more about getting their mindset back into, I'm going to be tested heavily in the pass game because, I mean, I think last week our DBs were able to, I think we only gave up 3 completions for like maybe 15, 17 yards against Eastern Randolph. I think they threw the ball maybe 5 or 6 times, and then Albemarle, they didn't really test us in the pass game. So our guys are capable of playing great pass coverage, but they haven't gotten exposed to it much in game-like situations. So we're really trying to just kind of get them mentally prepared for being tested.
I mean, it's definitely true because their total is, looking at the stat right here, 881 yards in 4 games, and that's 92 attempts. They're 57 for 92 at 881, and a total of, I think it's 12 touchdowns in 4 games with only 4 interceptions.
Right. Yeah. So they're pretty efficient, and they've got some guys, they've got some playmakers, and so we're just hoping we can slow their playmakers down a little bit, make them earn every yard, every catch they get, contest everything, and make it difficult for them.
Well, what's interesting, we were talking about earlier before we got on talking on camera, but Golston's obvious. I mean, it's Golston, but you also mentioned another guy we got to watch out for.
Yeah, the Braden Gladden guy. He's a guy we've seen for a couple years, and he's pretty shifty. He can catch. And they use him a lot. They move him around the formation, motion him across, motion him back, and they get him in spots that can make it tough to cover him if we're not disciplined. And so that's one thing we've been harping on: staying at home, staying in your zone.
So you can't gamble on Golston. You can't just go towards him because then they're going to sneak that guy right across.
Right, and so that's something that strategically, and I don't want to go too much into what we're doing for, depending on who's listening to this, but we've got some stuff that we feel like it's going to slow them down a little bit and make them work a little bit harder. But in the past, anytime I've been a part of a defensive staff with these guys, if we try to take one player away completely, we just get beat in all other phases of the game. So we have to try to do what we can to make it tough on their playmaker. But if we just worry about him all night, well, then we're just going to get beat everywhere else. They're going to run the ball down our throats. They're going to.
Yeah, I mean, they still got 526 total in rushing yards. So, I mean, they still can run the ball.
Right. And they got some talented backs. So we've got to play our game, and we've got to trust our guys to be able to compete with their players. And, maybe we got a couple things up our sleeve that can help us with some of these guys specifically here and there. But we're going to go play Asheboro football and see what we can do, see how we compete.
Well, how do you prepare your DBs, especially going against Goldston, someone taller that can jump and physically just strong? How do you build their confidence up instead of going, oh, gosh, I'm about to go against a guy who's averaging 96 a game?
So that kind of plays into what I was talking about, some of the stuff that we're working specifically to disrupt what he can do as much as we can, because, it is tough. When you got a guy that's that big and athletic, you can be in the perfect spot, the perfect coverage, do everything right up until the last second, and he can go up and get it. And so we've been talking this week, and we're going to keep working this week, ways to try to disrupt that a little bit. Certain ways to play through the chest or play through the hands. Just everything, every DB goes, time the jump up correctly. Because at that point in the play, the very last moment when it's a jump ball, you have to time everything up perfect. And so that's something that we've got to rep and practice.
So I gotta call it out. Who can your DBs handle the jumping up there and grabbing it? Because I know a little bit shorter than a 6-foot+ wide receiver.
Yeah, so I think our guys are athletic and they're physical, and so when the ball's in the air, they're going to do everything they can to take that away, to tip it, whatever. But at that point it's timing. They've got to time the jump up, play through his hands as he's bringing it down. That's one thing he's good about doing. He catches it and keeps it up and then tucks it away. And so that's something that we've got to we have to disrupt, and we've got to disrupt his hands. I mean, that's all we can do.
Well, it's all of them, too. Like you said, even the other guy, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but, I mean, he's putting up about 60-something plus per game as well. Yeah,
and so that guy, he's not as much of a jump ball guy. He's more of a fine open grass, and I'm going to make a move and make somebody miss. And so we've got some speed, we've got some athleticism. I think we'll have some success, but really it's just eliminating the big play. If we can eliminate the big play, make them earn every yard, I think we'll have some success with that.
So are we going to see, are you keeping Cole at linebacker? Are we going to see him kind of move back to that safety some, or what are we looking at?
Cole's staying a linebacker. Okay. I mean, he played our same position last week. He finished with 13 tackles. Yep. So he's doing the right stuff in that spot, and I think from the time I've met Cole, I knew that was his position. So he was playing the safety spot to help us fill what we needed there, and now we've got some guys that we feel comfortable with rolling in that spot, and so Cole's able now to move to what he is built for. He's built for that outside linebacker position, so I think that's going to be good for us.
And how with your linebackers, are we looking at a 4-3 again this week? Are we going to see a little bit just mixing it up, or?
We're going to do what we always do. We're going to keep people on their toes. So I'm going to keep that one tight to our chest, because that's something that I feel helps us a little bit of not knowing where we're going to be, what front we're going to be in, and so I'll keep that one tight.
And what's cool about it is you're 2012, right? If I'm correct, Randleman 2012.
Yes, sir.
So this game, I mean, I know Providence Grove was a competitive one, but this one's got me a little more to you too, knowing this is your old alma mater.
Yeah, so I told our guys Monday in practice. Last week was a little bit of a personal game just because of the history we have, but this week it's just as personal, and it's not in a bad way. It's just you go back and you play the school that you played at. It's got a little bit extra fire. You want to beat them, but those guys that are coaching there, I mean, I think half the staff I also played for. They have a lot of the same guys, and so I'm real close with some of them. I mean, I texted their defensive coordinator the other day and was talking back and forth about how much they throw the ball and how much film I'm breaking down, and we were just joking back and forth. So everything's good there, and I love those guys. But at the same time, going back to your alma mater, or not going back, I guess they're coming here this year.
Yeah.
But it's always fun, and it'll be exciting. It's always fun to joke around with those guys. But once the game's going, you want to beat them more than you want to beat anybody else because the pride.
Well, it's been a back and forth battle. Obviously, not the last 5 years. Randleman's dominated, but back in even our days in 2012, before it was Randleman-Ashboro. It was a back and forth battle every year.
Yeah, I'd like to get back to that. My senior year, we played Ashboro when I was at Randleman, and they beat the brakes off of us. I mean, I just randomly
My brother-in-law
found
was the middle linebacker, Josh Johnson.
Okay, so I found that is still on our huddle from the fall of 2011, and I watched some of those clips back, and I'm like, man, like if we get our boys back to playing the way Ashboro was playing then, we'll be in a good spot defensively because they were flying around, they were hitting us in the mouth. So it was.
That was Cole Burrows, a DB back there too.
I tell a lot of people this, and I'm not ashamed of it. I mean, it's pretty funny at this point. I was probably ashamed of it as a kid, but I got put on Fox 8 for the big hit of the week that week, and it was me getting hit across the middle from Cole Burrows.
Shout out to Cole. I mean, at least he went to state and walked. He played D1 football, so that make you feel better?
Yeah, a little bit. So, but yeah, just the level of physicality was different, and that's I feel like we're getting there. Like our tackling's been a lot better this year. We've been flying to the football and swarming a lot better. So things are changing in the right direction defensively for us, and so it's exciting to see.
We got to play off that momentum of last week because, I mean, let's be honest, the offense really didn't roll as much as we'd like to see, but the defense saved it. I mean, the defense held strong.
Yeah, we gave up some stuff, and we had guys. Most of the time what we noticed looking back at the tape when we gave stuff up, it was that we either made the wrong read and we didn't get to our right stack points in the middle, or the DBs fell asleep a little bit, which we talked about. We can't do that at all. Which
they go to that wishbone, and it's like you kind of get too comfy.
Right. They're not going to have the chance to fall asleep this week. They're going to get attacked over and over. So they got to stay ready and answer the call. But yeah, a couple times it was more misassignments than anything. It's not that our guys can't do it, and like the defense, they played well, and I was super excited with how we played. But we did give up some things that we should have never gave up, and so that's something that we've got to clean up and we've got to fix.
And as we wrap up, I mean, on paper it looks great. It's 4-0 Randleman versus 2-1 Ashboro. I mean, y'all made history last Friday. First time since 2019 we won 2 games. 2016 we've been over 500 with Coach George being the last coach to do that.
Oh wow, I kind of had heard people talking about that, but.
Yeah, George was 9-4, so we're going to be 9-4 this year, right? We're going to be
10-3. The goal. That's the goal. That'd be awesome. Coach Brown says it all the time. Our goal is to make the playoffs. So whatever we need to do, Randleman's going to be a tough battle. They're a great team. They're 4-0. They beat some really strong teams. But I've told our guys, if we compete the way we did in the Eastern Randolph game and finish like we did against Providence Grove, and we execute like we did against Albemarle, if you put all phases together with what we've shown throughout our 3 games, we've got a really good shot.
Yep, and you mentioned the Eastern. To me, it goes way back. We were in 8th grade when that game happened. Eastern Ashboro is at Ashboro. It was also middle school night. Undefeated Eastern state champions come in here. Ashboro upsets them. So hopefully we can have something similar this Friday. I mean, I feel like it's going to be pretty – it might not be as packed. I could be wrong. The fans prove me wrong. But I don't know if you remember that game. There's a picture all over the school of it, and it was a huge night, middle school night. I remember it took me, when I walked off the field, from one sideline to the other a whole quarter to get through the crowd.
Oh, my goodness. That's crazy. Yeah, it was wild. I've seen the pictures. I wasn't here or anything, but I've seen the pictures, and that's the Ashboro that I remember. I remember coming here and playing here, and it was like, holy crap, it's packed out. Student section's loud. They're all talking trash, like gets in your head as a player. And so stuff like that's going to help us, and that's starting to change. Like you noticed it last week. The crowd is different, the energy was different, so we just need to keep that rolling, keep that momentum going throughout the season. Yeah,
and it's honestly, I say we're wrapping up, but it's kind of like you said, the crowd, I mean, they're not used to. It's kind of like what we tell the team. I hear you say over and over again, you got to find a way to win. When you're used to losing, you find a way to lose. But you guys changed that culture last week. And I feel like the crowd, at first it wasn't as loud as you like it to be, but towards the end of the game, it was like, wow, wait, something's about to happen. We're going to win this thing. And the crowd started really, popping. The band on your sideline helped, all that. So I'm hoping that it keeps going, because I know it wasn't as loud at the beginning, but towards the end, it was like, we got a new Ashboro. is what I see all the articles saying.
Right, yeah. New Asheboro, and I don't mean saying new Asheboro, I don't think it's new Asheboro, it's getting back to what Asheboro has always been and what we should be.
Yeah.
And so, and I think that's our goal, that's the end goal, is we want to be able to get back to where we're competing with everybody. It doesn't mean we're going to win every game, it doesn't mean we're going to go undefeated, whatever, but if we're competing with everybody and we start finding ways to win those close games that we're competing in, things are gonna go in our direction at some point. You're not gonna win every close game. We didn't win the Eastern Randolph game, so we didn't finish, but we competed, we played really well, and that stuff will start turning in your favor the more you start doing that as you progress. So.
And I'm gonna make a challenge out there to the student section. I want to hear the crowd get loud. Because I think it can be. Because back when I played, like you said, I was there with those years when you played Asheboro, and that student section and just the crowd was so loud, so loud. I mean, it was just screaming, hollering. I mean, you couldn't even hear anything on the field.
Yeah, it was. And like I said, they're doing a good job, and these kids are starting to take some ownership of it, and so it's exciting to see, especially as like teacher in the building. You see these kids every day and talk to them and stuff, and they ask, are we going to win tonight? Are we going to win tonight? Blah, blah, blah. And like, so they're excited about us playing. And so that's fun, because when you get everybody on board, that's when the culture, not only within the program changes, but the school changes. And you got kids coming out, you got teachers that are supporting you and actually believing in you and being on your side. And if you get all of that put together, I mean, the sky's the limit. And so.
And I'm excited that it's middle school night. It's cool that you guys have this big game and you're inviting the middle schools to come.
Yeah. Well, and it starts there. It always has. The youth football league, the middle school league. When we get those guys up here, the better situation they have growing up is going to make our lives easier, and it's going to make them better, because then we can do more with them as players. And so, putting an emphasis on that is huge. And I think this community's done a great job with that. The middle school's got a new staff. The youth football league's got great coaches there, and we're all kind of working together for one end goal, and it's to be competitive at this level right now. And so I think that's something that's great, and that's going to help turn things as we keep going.
Awesome. Well, Coach, appreciate you being on here.
Are you a business wanting to support Beyond the End Zone, Blue Comets football podcast? Don't miss your chance to be a sponsor for this all-access podcast on your Asheboro Blue Comets. Contact us at sportsintheborough22@gmail.com and learn about your sponsorship opportunities. Again, that is sportsintheborough22, all one word, @gmail.com. Contact us today.
Man, Coach, great locker room segment. All right, we got the momentum. We got a big game coming up. We got the undefeated Tigers coming in. How are we preparing for this, Coach?
Randall's a great football team. They are every year. Their coaching staff does a great job. With Coach Timmons, Coach Hughes, Coach Tobias, and Coach Roos, some of them guys over there. A lot of respect for them. They've got great football players as well. So the challenge is going to be tough for us, but we think we are going to go out and I think we'll show up and play. We've got a game plan. If we'll go execute it and compete, I think it'll be a great game Friday night.
And I've been watching a little bit of film on Randleman. I'm not really a coach, but I like to do it because it's fun. I coach middle school. But tell me if I'm wrong. It's like a 3-3 stack or a 3-5-3 stack, and they have the outside linebackers in the flats, and then they blitz a lot, right?
Yeah, Coach Hughes, defense coordinator, he's got a 3-3 stack. That him and Coach Collinson were one of their assistant coaches. It's the same thing.
Okay. I was close.
Yes. But they do a good job with that. That's something that's kind of been their staple defensively over the last several years. And they're really good at it. And it's tough to block. We've had to look at a few things this week for our blocking schemes. But they do a great job bringing pressure when they need to. They don't bring it all the time, but they bring pressure when they need to. Their linebacker core plays really fast, so it makes it tough. But they've got some good players on that defensive side of the football that we got to be prepared to block.
And you ain't got to give me your game plan because we don't want them listening, them Tigers finding out. But how do you attack a defense like that? Just fundamentally.
We just got to keep doing what we're doing. We've been winning the line of scrimmage up front the last 2 weeks. Through 3 weeks, through 3 games so far, we're averaging 214 yards rushing per game, which is huge. If we can keep winning the battle up front, running the football, and having timely passing, we'll be all right. The biggest thing is attacking that 3-3 stack is just making sure that we get our blocking assignments correct, and that's something myself and Coach Parrish, our O-line coach, have really worked on this weekend to make sure that we are right on our blocking assignments, because it's different from what we do against other defenses, so we've had to change a few things. But as long as we get that right and we can go execute it, we'll have a good game plan for them.
And are we going to see some passing? Are we going to try to get back to that passing?
Yeah, and that's our offense. We are a balanced offense, running and passing. That's not going to change. Now, it did Friday night just because of the way the game was going, but that's not we're not changing how we're going to call plays. We still believe in our receivers and our quarterback. We want to be a 50-50 type team offensively.
All right, so when you're going against this team, we talked about the run game. You're going to try to throw in some passing. Are there corners up front? Are they 5 yards off? What kind of?
They mix it up a little bit.
Because we talk about the DBs are pretty good.
Yeah, they are. They'll drop off and play some zone coverage once in a while, and every once in a while you'll get some man coverage where they'll walk up. Tyshawn's playing a corner, which he's really good too. So, but their whole secondary is really solid. Coach Ruth, their DB coach, does a great job with them guys. It's just going to be, we have to take what they give us in the passing game and kind of see where they line up, and we can see if we can take advantage of some stuff.
And as we switch that, are we going to see, I know there's some drop passes, are we going to see all the receivers that mix in the mix?
We've got some guys that we'll mix in, and we'll just kind of see how it goes from there.
Okay. And let's flip the ball. Golston, you mentioned him, so I got to ask about him. How are you preparing against Golston, who has 9 TDs, 97.5 average per game with that 97.5? I mean, he leads a lot of categories. How do you go against a receiver like that?
He does. We're going to just make sure our DB's aware of him. Mm-hmm. We're not going to do too many things special for him. We're going to be aware of him, and we're going to know where he's at, and some extra guys, if we have the ability to get there, can get there. But he's going to make catches. He's going to get his kind of thing. It's making sure that we're good on the rest of the team. If he's going to catch passes, and we know that he's going to catch a few big balls. We've already told our DBs you can't get discouraged if he catches one. You got to line up and play the next play. It's just making sure we don't give other guys opportunities to go off on us and have big nights. He's going to get a big night regardless of who he's playing. I mean, if we can limit the rest of the team, that's going to give us a chance.
I mean, it's hard when you're going against someone.
D1 he's so talented. Like I said, and
he can jump.
He's going to have a great game every Friday night. It's making sure we limit the other guys that don't have his ability.
Are you going to have a spy on them, the safety, anything that we can?
We're not going to do anything. Like I said, we're going to play our coverages. We've got some coverages that are designed to maybe give a little help if needed over top, but most of the stuff will be straight up.
And is it, you got someone specific on them, or does it matter? You trust both of them?
We trust both of our corners right now, okay. Chase Miller and Aiden Robinson. Yep. We're not going to do, like I said, we're not going to try to do too much special. We'll see how the game plays out and see if we need to make adjustments as we go.
As we get close to wrapping up, it's gonna be an intense game, Coach. We got 2 former Tigers, and Golston was a former Comet. Mm-hmm. So there's I know Providence Grove was a big rivalry, but I feel like there's a little rivalry here. I know we haven't beat them in a while, but
I believe the Ashboro-Randleman game has been a huge rival for a long time. Like I told somebody the other day, I think for a while Ashboro had the upper edge for a while. The last 6-7 years, Randleman's had the upper edge. So it's kind of going back and forth, and we're looking to flip it back to the Blue Comet way.
Yeah, I remember when we had D. Bullet here my freshman year, we had Randleman because we had Dimitri Fagler, giving him a shout out. That dude could run the ball and no one could stop him. But you're right. I mean, they've had it for the last few years. I think the crowd's got to be loud. I mean, the student section was great, but I feel like our home crowd could be a little bit more.
Yeah, I think we'll get more people here this week. Hopefully the weather holds off. I think a lot of people stayed at home last week not knowing what the weather's going to be like, but it was still packed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any
it was packed, and so if we can get more people in there and make it standing room only this week, it'd be great. I know Randleman's going to bring a huge crowd. Like I said, they're 4-0, big game, and they always travel well, so they'll have a huge crowd on the visitor side as well.
And I think I'm going to have to dress up in the mascot outfit to get the crowd hyped.
I think that'd be great. So
the paratroopers, they were canceled last week. I've heard that they're doing it this Friday.
The plan is for this Friday, as long as the weather is good this Friday as well.
Okay. And if it cancels, we're just going to bring them with us to Southwest? All right. So Friday Night Lights, let's pack it out. As we wrap up, Coach, anything to tell the crowd, anything special? You want to let them know news coming up? I know it's middle school night, right? This Friday, middle school night?
Yeah, I think so.
So, yep.
We just want to get as many people as we can here Friday night and try to be extremely loud and support our Blue Comets.
And the fact that it's middle school night, you made it a huge game, Coach. That shows you how much you love the middle school program of what's coming up, because you're inviting these middle schools to come to this game, varsity level game, and see this firsthand.
Yeah, I want our guys excited about seeing what it's like to play in the stadium. The atmosphere and energy from last Friday night, if we can carry that over, I think anybody who walks in there would want to be on the field involved in that atmosphere.
Awesome. Well, Coach, I think in the future we're going to give a little teaser. I think we need to, hopefully we'll be coming 3-1. We'll be talking about. I think we got to bring Westbury in. I've been really wanting to talk about realignment because I know that'd be a later episode, but a little teaser for that. Is this last year, right? This is our last year.
This is the last year in this current conference, and everybody will be making a change and a new classification. So it's a big year in the High School Athletic Association with conferences, which is going to be a process all year before we find out anything finalized. But there is a lot of talk going around right now about that.
Awesome. Well, I think you and I are going to have to, maybe we can bring Barry in, all three of us have a little conversation
Yeah,
about
Coach Barry would be good to sit down and discuss some of that with you.
I think we'll have both of you. It'd be kind of cool. All talking to you about, nah, Coach, we ain't going there. Oh, yeah, we'll go there. Well, Coach, thanks for being on this episode. I think we knocked out episode 4. Appreciate everyone being here. Thanks, as always, to Coach's Neighborhood Grill. Coach, let's go be 3-1.
Yeah, let's go out and have a good week this week.
This episode was sponsored by Coach's Neighborhood Grill. Make sure you go by and support them for their support of Blue Comets football.